flared jeans, bold prints, and classic leather jackets. Retro fashion is making a bold comeback. But this revival isn't just about nostalgia. It's a response to fast fashion fatigue, a love for timeless styles, and a growing appreciation for sustainability. From minties streetwear to 70s boho vibes, today's trends are breathing new life into vintage pieces. Let's explore why the old is becoming the new cool again. Today we will talk about vintage revival, why retro fashion is making a comeback. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. The nostalgia effect. Retro fashion is riding high on a wave of nostalgia, driven by a longing for the charm and identity of past decades. As cultural cycles tend to repeat every 20 to 30 years, millennials and Gen Z are rediscovering the styles worn by their parents and grandparents. From 1970s bell-bottoms to 1990s grunge flannels. This emotional connection to past eras, amplified by media like Stranger Things or The Crown, has led consumers to view vintage not just as fashion, but as a lifestyle statement. Music, movies, and pop culture icons contribute to this resurgence by reviving old-school aesthetics. Wearing vintage pieces feels like reclaiming history, bringing with it a sense of authenticity that modern fast fashion often lacks. This cyclical admiration turns clothing into time capsules, making retro pieces feel meaningful rather than just trendy. 2. Rejecting fast fashion. As awareness grows around the ethical and environmental problems of fast fashion, many are turning to vintage as a conscious alternative. Fast fashion is synonymous with mass production, low wages, and environmental degradation. In contrast, retro fashion often includes higher quality garments made to last. Shoppers now seek timeless pieces that tell a story and reduce waste. By embracing secondhand and vintage clothing, consumers are cutting down on textile pollution and opting for sustainability over disposable trends. Thrift stores, vintage markets, and online resale platforms like Depop, Poshmark, and Vinted are booming. This shift also reflects a desire to move away from the endless trend cycle and invest in clothes that endure both physically and stylistically. The appeal lies in wearing something original that doesn't contribute to the exploitation behind cheaply made modern fashion. Choosing vintage is becoming a personal and ethical stand against the rapid consume culture of today. 3. Individual style expression. Retro fashion allows people to express individuality in a world where mass-produced clothing often feels generic. Vintage pieces often feature bold cuts, rare fabrics, and unique details no longer found in modern collections. When someone wears a 60s mod coat or a 90s windbreaker, they're telling a story, and usually one that stands apart from current retail offerings. This uniqueness is highly valued, especially among younger generations who prioritize personal identity and creative expression. Styling retro items allows for imaginative outfits that reflect a mix of past and present. Social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok have also enabled style influencers to experiment publicly, showing others how to mix vintage with modern for an elevated, personalized look. It's not just fashion, it's personality on display. By curating a wardrobe that includes retro finds, people can stand out and create a fashion signature that's entirely their own. 4. Celebrity and influencer endorsement. When celebrities wear vintage, it becomes instantly cool. From Zendaya rocking vintage Versus on the red carpet to Harry Styles channeling 70s glam and flared trousers and wide collars, A-listers are breathing new life into old looks. Influencers have also played a massive role in showcasing how retro pieces can be styled in modern ways, often creating viral trends in the process. This top-down endorsement drives mass interest and gives vintage legitimacy among younger shoppers. Celebrities like Rihanna, Bella Hadid, and Kendall Jenner have all been spotted in archival pieces, creating buzz and influencing fast fashion brands to reissue vintage-inspired collections. Additionally, music videos, films, and stage performances frequently incorporate retro wardrobes, further embedding them into pop culture. When high-profile figures wear secondhand or designer vintage, they send a strong message. Retro is stylish, relevant, and aspirational. This glamorized visibility accelerates the movement and reshapes what's considered fashionable. 5. Thrifting becomes trendy. Once associated with necessity or counterculture, thrifting has now become a mainstream fashion ritual. Today's shoppers view second-hand hunting as a form of treasure hunting, one that's eco-conscious, budget-friendly, and stylish. Vintage boutiques and curated thrift shops have popped up in cities worldwide, turning pre-loved fashion into a desirable experience. TikTok trends like thrift flips, where clothes are DIY altered into custom designs, have added a layer of creativity and personal involvement to the process. Young consumers love the thrill of discovering unique finds that others won't have. Unlike buying off the rack, thrifting makes fashion feel personal, rewarding, and interactive. The appeal extends beyond affordability. It's about the story behind each piece and the satisfaction of curating a wardrobe with character. 6. Designer archival revival. Major fashion houses are revisiting their archives and drawing from past collections to create new ones. Brands like Gucci, Chanel, and Dyer are known for referencing their vintage designs, repackaging them for the modern consumer. This recycling of aesthetics shows that retro is not just a consumer trend. It's influencing the very core of high fashion. Designers are finding that old silhouettes, fabric choices, and patterns still resonate, and with slight tweaks, they become relevant again. Gucci's revival of 70s prints, or Prada's nods to 90s minimalism, are examples of this. These reimagined classics bring heritage and prestige into contemporary wardrobes. They also connect loyal customers with brand history, enhancing brand value. This approach not only meets the consumer's craving for nostalgia, but also reduces creative waste by leaning on what already worked. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.